Hello and welcome. I'm Michelle. If you're watching this, you're likely navigating a great shift of your own. Maybe the kids have finally moved out and the house feels echoing and strange. Maybe the career that once defined you, the one you gave your youth and your best energy to, is starting to feel like a suit that's two sizes too small. Or maybe, like me, you're standing at the edge of a 30-year chapter, looking at the blank pages of the next one with mixed terror and wild hope. For 3 decades, my identity was teacher. It was my rhythm, my title, my social standing, and my daily purpose. But today, I'm stepping into what I like to call the radiant unfolding. I'm retiring from the classroom, but let me be very clear. I'm not retiring from life. I'm trading the high desert winds of northern Nevada for the humid, soul-stirring magic of the New Orleans French Quarter. I'm moving from a house filled with stuff to a city filled with intention. Over the next 15 minutes, I want to walk you through the blueprint for this transition. We're going to talk about the philosophy of the deep edit, the mechanics of the portable life, and how to find grace in the grind when the world feels like it's shifting beneath our feet. So let's talk about the move. For years, my husband Scott and I lived the big house life. We have rooms that we haven't walked into for weeks. We had closets full of just-in-case items, the shed and back full of all of the summer stuff, the winter stuff, half-finished projects from 2020 for a version of me that no longer exists, and the heavy weight of more. But New Orleans demands something different. We're moving into a 1,000-square-foot Creole cottage. In NOLA, every square inch has to earn its keep. This has forced me into a phase I like to call a deep edit. This isn't just decluttering. It's a spiritual audit. And I'm looking at every heirloom, every book, every piece of furniture, and asking one singular, piercing question. Does this support the matriarch I'm becoming? If it's just a relic of a career-driven, busy for the sake of being busy Michelle, it doesn't get a seat at the table. This sophisticated simplicity, it's the realization that luxury isn't about more. It's about better. It's about having smaller collections of things that carry higher meaning. It's like pruning a rose bush. If you've ever grown roses, you know that to get those massive fragrant blooms, you have to be willing to cut that bush back until it looks almost bare. It feels brutal in the moment. You think, I'm destroying this? But you aren't. You're redirecting the energy. You're ensuring that the next season's bloom has the strength to stand tall. That is what I'm going to be doing in my life right now. I'm pruning the excess so that I can bloom in the Bayou. So I've started calling our new life a city-stead. Usually, when we think of a homestead, we think of 10 acres, a tractor, a dozen chickens, but I'm interested in the urban self-sufficiency. A city-stead is about being a student of the city. It's about trading the lawnmower for a walking stick. It's about learning how to grow a kitchen garden in a terracotta pot on a wrought iron balcony. It's about finding the glimmers in the gray of the sidewalk and the history of the brick. For me, the city-stead is the physical manifestation of grace. It's acknowledging that we can live a rich, productive, and grounded life right in the heart of the hustle. It's about being an intentional navigator of our local environment. I won't have a 3-car garage to hide my messes in. My life will be more public, more connected, more vibrant. It requires a certain grit to live in an old city. There's the humidity, the tourists, the noise. Let's not forget about Mardi Gras. But there's also the glamour of the jazz drifting through the window and the smell of the jasmine in the air. That balance of grit and glamour, that is Glimmer and Grace Co. in a nutshell. Now let's get into the how, because a dream without a system is just a wish. One of the biggest questions I get from women my age is, Michelle, how are you actually funding this? How are you making the numbers work without touching your pension or your long-term savings? And the answer is, I am using my pension. And then the other part is a portable life. I want to be able to be the Grammy who stays. If my children's medical residencies and fellowships take them to New Orleans or to Seattle or to New York or back to Northern Nevada, I don't want my income tied to a physical school building or some other like brick and mortar job. I need my business to fit in my laptop bag. I've set a goal for myself and I'm inviting you to set it with me. The $1,000 milestone. Now listen closely. We aren't trying to build a 7-figure empire that requires 20 employees and 80-hour work weeks. We've already done the 40-hour work weeks and we're tired of that. We're chasing a steady, intentional $1,000 extra a month of found money. Why 1,000? Because for me, $1,000 a month is a Glimmer Fund. And it's the difference between saying, I can't afford that flight to see my kids, or saying, I'll be there this Friday. It's the fund that covers the high quality paints for your art studio, or that dinner at a world-class bistro on Royale Street. My teacher's lesson plan for building this portable life is based on 6 pillars. The first one is the digital edit. We take 30 years of latent experience, the stuff that you know how to do in your sleep, and turn it into digital resources that others can use. Number 2, the anchor system. We find the one thing that you and I can offer that provides stability. Number 3, the grace and the grind. We build systems that work for us, not against us. No more bell schedules or going into work for another boss. Number 4, a sophisticated branding. We present ourselves with the maturity and the elegance of our age. We're not trying to mimic 20-year-old influencers. Number 5, the transition blueprint. We document the move. People don't just want the destination. They want to see the map. How are you growing your business? Number 6, the collective. We do this together. Gen X vulnerability is our superpower. I'm not just building a digital boutique. I'm building a legacy of agency. I want my grandkids to look at me and see a woman who didn't just fade away into the background of retirement, but who pivoted with power and grace. Now, I want to be incredibly real with you for a moment because we don't do fake here. This great shift is heavy. Leaving a 30-year career is an identity crisis disguised as a celebration. When I walk out of that classroom for the last time, I'm leaving the version of me that everyone knew. I'm leaving the woman who had all the answers. There's a specific kind of grief in that. There are days when the packing boxes feels like mountains I can't climb. There are moments when the Mexico dream that Scott and I were looking forward to shifted when we found out that we were going to be grandparents. It feels sometimes like a ghost following me around. And this is where we need grace. In our community, grace isn't just a pretty word. It's the permission to be a beginner at 40, 50, 60. It's the permission to be messy while you're being made new. Grace allows us to hold 2 truths at once. You can be terrified of the unknown, and you can be completely certain that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. We aren't just drifting through midlife, hoping for the best. We are intentional navigators. We're steering toward a life where profit doesn't come at the expense of peace, and where presence is our greatest currency. If I'm at a lunch with my daughter in New Orleans, I want to be there, not checking my phone for work notifications. The portable life gives us that presence. People ask, why New Orleans? Why now? New Orleans is a city that understands the beauty amidst the grit. It's a city of history and constant reinvention. It has survived fires, floods, and time itself. It mirrors the transitions so many of us are making. In Nevada, the beauty is wide open and stark. It's about resilience. It's about surviving the heat and the wind. I'm so grateful for the desert and what it's taught me. It gave me clarity. It gave me thick skin. But now I'm ready for the Bayou, baby. I'm ready for a city that celebrates the radiant unfolding of every day, I'm learning to trade the fast-paced productivity of the school year, where every minute is accounted for by a bell, for the soul-paced productivity of a creative entrepreneur and my digital boutique that I want to help you build. In New Orleans, you learn to slow down. You learn that the best things, the best gumbo, the best jazz, the best beignets, the best lives take time. I'm letting myself simmer into that. I'm letting the teacher persona melt into the matriarch persona. I want to invite you to look at your own life. What is your New Orleans? What is that place or that state of mind that calls to your soul, but you've been too busy or too responsible to pursue it? What is the deep edit you need to perform to finally make room for it? So here's my promise to you. Over the next coming months, I'm going to keep documenting the transition blueprint that I'm going through. I'm going to show you the messy parts, the spreadsheets that don't balance, the boxes that won't close, the moments when I'm sitting on the floor in my empty house in Northern Nevada, wondering if I made a huge mistake. But I'm also going to share the glimmers. I'll share the first time I set up my laptop in a cafe on Magazine Street. I'll share the first $100 I earned from my digital boutique products that I created while I was sleeping. I'll share the moments I realize that I'm finally, truly the captain of my own ship. This is the radiant unfolding. It's not a destination. It's a process. And I'm inviting you to be part of it. I'm looking for women who are ready to stop asking for permission. The women who are ready to take their 30 years of experience and turn it into a portable life. The women who know that they have so much more to give, but they want to give it on their own terms. Whether you're in the deep edit phase or you're ready to launch your own digital boutique, know that you aren't navigating this alone. We are a collective intentional navigator group. If you're looking for a community that values Gen X vulnerability over Instagram perfection, if you want to build a life that funds your freedom and fuels your soul, if you're ready to find the grace in the grind, then you're in the right place, baby. We are going to find the glimmers. We are going to extend the grace, and we are going to navigate this grace shift together, one intentional step at a time. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the notifications so you don't miss any of my videos coming up. And let me know in the comments if you would like to see a specific digital product being built from the ground up. I'd be happy to share that. I'm Michelle, and until next time, find your glimmer and walk in grace. Bye.